What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about accents, and I want to talk about how I got rid of my accent, because that's a question that comes up very often in many various conversations that I have with non-native English speakers, and also when I have a chance to talk with native speakers, they also ask me this question, like, how did you get rid of your accent? Like, what have you done? How did you practice? So in today's video, I want to talk about this, and if you're interested, please continue watching this video. I want to start by saying that having an accent is totally okay. As long as people can understand you, it's totally fine. And I think that accents are beautiful because they make English language varied and colorful, so to speak. So if you have an accent, don't feel bad about it, don't feel self-conscious about it, because that's not a bad thing. Another thing I want to touch on before we get to the point is that I'm from Poland and I have been living here for 30 years. I have never in my life lived in an English-speaking country. And based on my accent right now, it's probably hard to tell where I'm from. And I'm telling you this because many people think and believe that it's impossible for them to speak with an American accent or with a British accent if they don't live in those countries, which is totally not true. Now, there are two things that, in my humble opinion, have contributed to reducing my accent the most. The first one of them is listening. And by listening, I also mean watching. So whenever I listen to something or watch something, I made sure that it was in English. And I listened to English every chance I got. When I was doing something, when I was, cleaning the house, when I was working out, when I was, doing whatever, I made sure that I listened to something in English. And because of that, I was exposed to English almost all the time, because whatever I did, I was listening to something in English. And for me, American English was a little bit easier to pronounce, and I don't know why, but it always seemed like more natural. Maybe because I was listening to podcasts where people spoke American English, or I was watching TV shows like Two and a Half Men or The Office, where the actors actually use American English. So I really believe that listening to a lot of American English has impacted my own accent significantly. Okay, let's jump to the second thing that has contributed to reducing my accent to an even higher degree than listening. I practice speaking using the shadowing technique, and I've already talked about the shadowing technique on this channel. You can check out this video right here, whichever side it's on. And basically what you need to do is to repeat after native speakers. And I don't want to go too in depth here because I was explaining how I practice and how I still practice using this technique in my previous video, so you can check it out. I'll put a link in the description as well. This amazing technique will not only help you reduce your accent or get rid of your accent altogether, but it will also help you develop your speaking skills, improve your speaking skills. You'll also pick up new vocabulary, learn grammar, practice your listening skills. So you have to have this incredible tool in your English practicing arsenal. Okay, and I just want to emphasize one thing. Getting rid of my accent has never been my goal. I have never intentionally practiced to get rid of my accent. I have never taken any accent reduction courses or accent reduction classes. I practiced English with the sole purpose of speaking correct English, and that was it. I'm not saying that those things are bad or you shouldn't be, focusing too much on your accent, because if that's important for you, if you want to sound like a native, like, go for it. There are incredible teachers out there that can help you reduce your accent or get rid of your accent like entirely. I got rid of my accent, quote unquote, by accident through osmosis, through practicing, through repeating after native speakers. And as I told you, I have never taken any accent reduction classes or courses, anything like that. So I just wanted you to know that it is totally possible for you to reduce your accent on your own Although if you want it to happen like as quickly as possible, it would probably be beneficial for you to hire a coach or take some courses that would help you reduce your accent. But as I told you before, it has never been my goal. I would have never thought that I would develop my accent to the point where people cannot really tell where I'm from. I've always wanted to speak correct English, and that was my only goal.
Who am I? I'm a champion. Who am I? I'm a champion.
One thing that I've noticed with English learners, and I was guilty of that myself, is that they tend to diminish their achievements. They sell themselves short. You have put so much work, so much effort into learning this language, into developing the skill of, I don't know, speaking, listening, or whatever. Why would you reject somebody else's compliment? They gave you this compliment for a reason. They're impressed with your English. Why would you say something like, no, my English is not that good, I make a lot of mistakes? Why would you say that? The person that just gave you that compliment, they don't want to hear this. Do you really think that if your English sucked, people would come to you and give you compliments on your English? I don't think so. So if they give you compliments, that probably means that your English is really good, and be proud of that. I know that my accent is actually one of my strengths when it comes to speaking English. So whenever someone comes to me and actually tells me that my accent is really good, I'm never like, no, it's not that good. When you listen to me a little longer, you'll notice that I make mistakes. I pronounce words, incorrectly, not the way native speakers would pronounce them. No, I never do that. I'm always like, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Like, it has cost me a lot of work and a lot of effort to get to this level of English. So that's what I want you to understand, and stop actually rejecting compliments. Embrace them and be proud of that, because that's actually a reason to be proud of, right? So I think that we as non-native English speakers have to actually practice. We have to practice to embrace those compliments and actually be thankful for them, because if someone gives you a compliment, they really mean it. They're impressed with your English and they want to praise you. So please stop denying or rejecting those compliments, because that's not what that other person expects from you. Just tell them that it costs you a ton of work, and just be grateful for their compliment. Okay guys, that's it in this video. If you want to check out my shadowing technique video that I mentioned before, I'll leave a link in the description. You can find out how I use this method to improve my speaking skills. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. I just pressed record and I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Can you hear that? It's my wife mixing something. She knows I'm recording this video right now. The sun was screwing with me the last time when I recorded a video, and it does exactly the same thing today. Even though I pulled the shade, yeah, what are you gonna do?